Hi everybody, I wanted to go ahead and make the video about planes, trains, and automobiles while it was on my mind. Like I said before, okay, now this is a very Thanksgiving, theme of the movie is Thanksgiving, okay? So it would be ideal to watch it around Thanksgiving Day, maybe on Thanksgiving Day, you know, your choice. But it's a really good movie. It highlights Steve Martin and John Candy plays the off character. They become friends, but they are not friends in the beginning because Steve Martin plays this character called Neil Page, and John Candy plays Dale Griffith. Now, they are as different as night and day. Neil Page is very buttoned up, very serious, and Dale Griffith is fly by the seat of your pants, take life as it comes. Everything is kind of a joke. That kind of personality, right? Okay, so the reason they meet is because um, Neil Page has gone on a business trip to somewhere, and he promises his wife that he's gonna get home before Thanksgiving. Now, uh, he goes through all the stuff of they have to go on planes, trains, and automobiles to get him back home. Honestly, um, they go on they're on the same flight, and uh, Dale Griffith annoys Neil tremendously, and then they have to get a hotel room because there are no hotel rooms, so they have to bunk together, and all the stuff. So the yin and yang, though, they need each other to work out because Neil may have worldly goods like a really nice watch, and he can talk to people and all this stuff. But then Dale Griffith has a charm that you need to be like really nice to people sometimes and smile and joke and whatever. And also, when they lose their money because in while they're in the hotel room, somebody comes in and steals all their money. And at first, Neil thinks Dale did it, but then he says, "I didn't do that. I wouldn't do that to you." So then he takes his what he sells with his bath shower curtain rings. Like when you have a shower curtain, you have to have the rings to hold it up, right? So he convinces people they're different things so that they'll pay him a lot of money, and then they use that money to like live on for a while, right? So then what happens is everything goes wrong for Neil, Steve Martin, everything, right? And then he gets so annoyed, he tells John Candy, "Go away." I think that would be better separate. So then they separate for a while, and you see all the stuff they go through. But then you realize pretty quickly that Dale doesn't really have a family because he had a wife, but she passed away 8 years ago from the time of the movie. Okay. So presumably he's been alone for the 8 years. So he has no family to come home to on holidays and stuff. Okay. So then they have to take a plane, they take a train, they try to take a train, but it doesn't go like where they want it to go. And then finally, the last piece is they try to get a car, a rental car, right? So Neil tries to, and he's going to be a hard nose with the person, and how dare you, and all this stuff, right? And the attendant says, "Do you have your agreement, like your contract?" And he's like, "No, I threw it away." So then she says, "I can't help you," basically. And then he happens to meet up with Dale again, and Dale takes whatever car they give him. So then he's the one who drives him around and trying to get him back home. Okay. So then what happens when Dale drives is that Steve Martin, the character, decides he's gonna go to sleep. So then Dale's left to drive, right? So then he starts smoking in the car and he flings it, but he doesn't fling it outside. He flings it and it's still in the car. So then the car eventually catches fire and the whole car literally goes up in flames. And they're driving and it doesn't go on flames yet until they get out of the car. But literally you think they're not going to make it. But then they do make it a couple days late or something. And then the final scene is you see how happy Neil is to be home, and you see how lacking Dale's life is because he doesn't have that to ground him, and he doesn't have this whole family to come home to. So you kind of understand the value of friendship and forgiveness and whatever, and literally Thanksgiving, because you're thankful for what you have. But it's really funny and poignant at the same time. So I highly, highly recommend it. And like I said, it would be a great thing to watch near Thanksgiving or on Thanksgiving, like Thanksgiving night or something, if you wanted to. All right. Bye, everybody.